What's going on, y'all? Corpus Christi Originals back at it again. Today we're going to be talking about Corpus Christi car culture. We got some OGs in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, fellas.
Justin Flores, president of Drift Corpus Car Events.
Right on.
I'm Adam Delgadillo, photographer. Do a lot of automotive stuff with Adam Delgadillo Photography.
Frank Corpus. I'm the owner operator of Here Garage in Corpus Christi, and also one of the admins for the Corpus Christi Cars and Coffee.
Oh, Cars and Coffee, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Actually, that's an admin too. I don't know why he didn't mention it. I think you got nervous.
so what is that? I mean, y'all go to the different coffee spots, or?
So no, we try to maintain just like one spot that has a lot big enough for everyone to come in, and it's a real chill and type of spot.
Chill, talk about cars and all
Yeah,
that?
drink a coffee, meet and mingle. We try to do it early in the morning because like a lot of the more chill people are out there, and it's not the riffraff coming in.
No, right on, right.
We'll get to that later.
Right on. What's going on, everybody, on the live chat? We got Facebook and YouTube in here. We got Matt Lucio already. Oh yeah, man. And so you said president of Drift Corpus?
Yes, sir. Drift Corpus.
Okay, so drift. What is that? Like when I heard that first, I was like, drift.
So,
And I know you're in the cars, so I was like, what is this?
so first thing I tell everybody is Tokyo Drift. So everybody's thinking Fast and the Furious.
Of course.
There's no other way to say it nowadays. I'm not going to say, the car, you kick out the car, you hold it sideways. Like, you seen Tokyo Drift? Oh, that. There it is right there. Fast and Furious 3. So
That's the easiest way.
yeah, that's the easiest way. Everybody's seen that movie. Everybody's seen that. So that's the best way to do it. But
That's cool.
basically, it's the fastest growing automotive sport right now as well, too. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, and I was looking it up, like the definition and watching videos, and I was like, okay, so basically you throw your car at a trippy angle, and then you control it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, basically.
Exactly. Basically that. Yeah, that's it. Huck it in and pray to God. That's what everybody thinks we do.
Yeah, and then just talking. So you reached out, and I was thinking about it too, and of course everybody in Corpus. What's up, Joey Garcia? And then so we were thinking about the accidents that have been happening, like that lady that fell out of the car.
Yes.
And like that's at the forefront, has been at the forefront of everybody's mind. Kind of lately, it's kind of dying down, but for you guys, it's everyday thing, right?
Yeah. So and like you said, that kind of, it sucks to say, but that brings a thing on all of us. In the car culture general, like we were talking about earlier. It reflects. One bad apple is all it takes, and look what happens. We can't enjoy a cruise downtown, no more, without having to look over our shoulder with somebody doing something stupid, or somebody. There was a BMW that was doing donuts in the middle and hit a bike and took off, and it was like, man, if my car was there, I would have been pissed.
To bring that up, this past Thanksgiving, I was talking to Justin, my uncle, who's like, "Oh, I heard what drifting was. What you do?
Yeah,
it's that what they're doing downtown with all the accidents."
Oh,
and I'm like, "No, dude,
like they automatically associate y'all into one group.
And that's the stigma, the bad that we want to kind of like. We're not associated with that.
Steer away,
yeah. It's not about that,
Wow. So I mean, what's going on, Vashawn Roberts and YouTube? Appreciate you.
My boy, dang.
Yeah, it's awesome. So like, how do you? What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
How do you I guess separate yourselves from that? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go about doing that?
Probably promoting healthy meets. By healthy, I mean like responsible get-togethers and stuff like that. Promoting the right message and stuff like that. Linking up downtown, the water. I mean, the seawall, the fish spot. Those are beautiful spots to hang out. Meet up with people you see maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, a month, and catch up. But you got people doing this stuff, and it kind of sets us back quite a bit. You know what I mean? For the responsible, automotive enthusiasts.
For stuff we just want to enjoy the scenery and have Adam take pictures of our car.
It's a time and place to get wild, and like downtown and busy traffic or people walking around. That's not it.
Like public,
And as an admin for the Cars and Coffee group, I see it like in some of the chats. Like there's, and then I don't know if they're like dumb. They don't realize like, hey, there's police in here too.
Right.
Like just because they're cops doesn't mean they're not into cars.
Yeah.
And everyone can see what they're putting, and it's like, hey, let's meet up here. No one's here. Let's do some burnouts.
Oh,
Who wants
wow.
to get sideways at midnight? And I'm like, bro, like you realize, like,
Yeah.
everyone can see this, and
It's
I try
not
to
a private chat. Like,
it's not
a
private. It's
thing.
public. Like
Yeah.
anyone and everyone can see it, and I try to police it to where like, hey, like cut that out or just delete the comment. And
Yeah.
if they keep at it, it's kick them out. You know what I mean?
Right on. Right on.
But out of that chat, I can't control. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't understand is cops are cool too. They're in the cars too. They do that, and they try to keep up and keep with the lingo too and everything else. And you know, one of my a good friend of mine, he's a Portland cop, and I've known him for 15 plus years, you know, and it's cool because he was in the cars. He would always talk. He would come to meets when we would hang out there in Portland and come and check it out and talk with us about cars. And we're like, okay, we got a cool cop. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He would talk and chat with us. And by any means, then I never look at him as a narc or as something bad or down on him, because he was a friendly dude. This dude would talk with me. Hey, dude, y'all be careful because this and this.
Oh, wow.
Y'all be careful, you know, and he would kind of give us a guide out. But you know, we were all young at one time. We were all stupid at one time.
Yeah.
There was those points that we had, and luckily we had people to help guide us to be like, hey man, like this is what's going on. Y'all chill out. Y'all do this, and direct us. And now it's funny that, you know, that guy's been a cop 20 plus years now, and his son comes out to our events and shoots for us. And now his son's a growing automotive guy too. And now it's like, this is cool. Like, see how everything evolves, and like, just knowing that the cops are out there to not be the bad guys, but to guide us and keep us out of trouble. And like, hey, you know,
right.
you're not only risking yourself, but as we've seen on videos and stuff happening lately, you're putting other people in danger too.
Yeah, and we were talking before air, and you mentioned Adam. You mentioned about social media, how people do those street. What do you call them?
Those takeovers.
Yeah, takeovers.
Yeah,
Stuff like
dude,
that.
It's a different era, a different time that we're in. I mean, us growing up, social media was just starting booming, I guess you can say. And now, I mean, you open up Instagram and some of my, you know, feed videos are street takeover stuff. I'm like, I'm not even into that stuff, but it's still showing. So it's like, I can only imagine what someone, you know, younger is like, sees that, like, you know, I'm going to attend this next week or the next one. And then people filming, posting that, you know, hyping, kind of clouting it. And it's like, giving the wrong message.
And it's crazy, like the likes that you see on that too is like, how many, like thousands of likes and views, and they're like, dude, this dude's getting run over and like, chopped up. Like
he still lost his pants.
Like, oh my God. I know.
How do you get up from that?
How are they cool with that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one dude, he got hit by the tail of a car and he fell down and he got up. I was like, dude, how do you get up from it?
Yeah.
And that girl, obviously, that at the Bayfront, where
think she
fell.
got up.
Oh, no, she was just like there. I was like,
Laid out.
I think I think
And it took some people. I'm glad some people finally had to chill him out because the car kept going, and it
They
was
kept
like,
going, dude.
and it's like, how are you okay with that? Like,
that's the thing, man. Like, I think it's just these younger kids that they don't know. This is what they see on the internet, and it's like, oh, let's go do that.
Yeah.
In a front wheel drive Camry of all things, you know, like
Right. Front wheel drive Camry. I noticed that too, because it's rear wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you got to have rear wheel for that one.
yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
And it's like someone gets hurt, and they're like, oh yeah, that's supposed to happen. Like, no, bro. Like, the idea is you're not supposed to hurt anyone. Like,
Yeah. Wow. Maybe they're just not thinking. I mean, they could be under the influence too. You know what I mean? That girl was 19 years old. The driver.
Oh wow.
19 years old. She came out on the news, wanted or something like that. 19-year-old.
Oh,
I forgot her name, but
dang,
that's crazy. And you know, like earlier this year, we had those implemented sound ordinances too. So you know, we love to modify our cars and stuff.
Right.
So Ocean Drive, like I was mentioning, is very beautiful to cruise with your friends or even by yourself. So you bring that type of attention to something with those ordinances, makes it even worse for us, where we can't chill, hang out, or you're kind of risking it. You know, you're risking it to just enjoy your Saturday, Sunday. Type of thing.
So what do you do? What do y'all do? I mean, what do y'all do to keep that going for yourselves? I mean, of course, it's kind of hard because there's other people that really don't care. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do we do?
You have to put yourself away from stuff like that, because you know there's the old grandpas and the hot rods and everything else too. And
Yeah.
it sucks for them because they get looked on too. And it's like, yeah, there's this guy's just trying to enjoy his hot rod and go for a
Yeah.
cruise. And I know those things don't have mufflers on them, and I know they sound really good. But yeah, it's just like, man, it ruins everything, and you have to look over your shoulder now because you don't know who's doing something, or you'll have a car trying to race you like crazy, and you're just like, dude, I'm just trying to
Yeah, I'm
chill.
just trying to
man.
chill,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to chill.
You're just
dude.
cruising the ocean, dude. Why are you
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
rip me out
And
ocean?
it's that
Some
stock
family
Camry that's
over
revving
here.
you up.
Stock
and you're like,
Camry, So on that, you own a garage, a car garage, Hero.
Yeah, Hero Garage.
Yeah. So how long you been in business? You been in business for a while?
I started it in 2014. But it never really got serious until maybe like 2018 when I linked up with some other guys. Shout out to Tony for pushing it. We started doing like merch, the hats, the shirts, the hoodies, and stickers and stuff. There's Tony right there.
What's going on? What's going on, Tony, on Facebook? Joey
Tony
Garcia. Yeah.
AKA Gossip Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said sorry about it. Yeah. Well, I'll go back to that one. So you were saying 2014, and then Tony got you into
Yeah,
it?
more like 2018 is when we started doing like pushing more of the merch and the stickers and stuff, and doing more, just bigger stuff, more events. I remember like one of the first events we did was Ultimate Bash. I don't know if you're familiar with Ultimate Bash. Yeah, so he goes all around. It was like Colorado, like all over
Everywhere,
Texas,
all over the states.
Arkansas. Yeah, it's just a
Like
big.
he's an influencer, like on social media?
Yeah, he's on Facebook, Instagram. That's
Chemo.
Yeah, Chemo. Yeah. But yeah, he goes all over the place. It's just an event where it's like tailgating. You just get everyone together, you barbecue, hang out, mingle. It's just a good event. They have like they call them drag races, where you get your car and your team, and you push.
You pick a car,
you drag race another car, just pushing it. Yeah.
By pushing it?
Yeah.
It's just it's
pretty
to get
cool.
everyone together. They do like the tug of war thing. Like,
Nice.
it's just a good.
It's a really good event. It brings all aspects of the automotive community together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if
Lowriders,
your team
trucks,
or your group of people have like the top tier builds in the city. It could be a group of people
Projects.
that
everything,
that are just starting out. It's an event where all people come together, hang out, tailgate, have a good time, little mini games, and get a real idea what the community can be about.
Right on. If you're a photographer, it's interesting that Justin invited you on the show. So how much of an importance does he have in y'all's in the car culture? And
a lot, because one, he makes my junk look good.
right. Yeah.
But he helps us out because it puts a scene on a lot of places, because Corpus is known for Selena. I tell everybody, where you from? Selena. Oh, dang. Oh, that's in the movie, dude. The washing machine. No, dude. But I mean, everything, he helps us big time, because his audience, being that he does magazines and everything else, he has a larger audience, and it puts us out there. And he got my car in a magazine and everything else. And he gets a lot of locals in magazines. So it's kind of cool that he spotlights us as our own personality, because it puts us out there on a map. I can't tell you, I don't know, but my car's in a bunch of people's houses right now, on calendars. It made a chassis calendar and all this stuff. So it's like, man, knowing that this man right here went out of his way and did what he had to do to help us out like that. And it's putting us on the map, not only as Corpus or myself, but as a group, because I didn't work on my car by myself. I did a lot of stuff, but he's shouting out a lot of my friends and a lot of other people that I've gotten to work with, and our events and everything now. So he's kind of helped bringing us out to branch us out, because we're looking, for sponsors and everything else. It's not just it's out of my pocket, a lot of it. But when a sponsor sees my car in a magazine, oh, dude, that thing's boom. It's posted up. They want to see it. They want to see more. They want to do stuff. And I get to work with people like that. And it's easier when I have somebody like that on my team that's helping me. Hey, let's do what we got to do and get ourselves out there, because it's a business. Like I told you, man,
cool.
it's a crazy thing to outreach people and to see people from, man, we had a guy from Kansas come to one of our events one time, and I was like, what? And I was like, come all the way to this day. And he had a blast, and I was like, oh, Kansas or Kentucky, one of the K's. But I was like, all right. And he's like, dude, I enjoyed this event. This is cool. And the scenery and everything else. And we're going to go down and take some pictures of the car and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. So
cool,
it was cool getting to, get out there and do that.
So Frank Corpus, Miguel Perez, Jimmy Conway, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, that's my dad.
I was like, Frank's right here.
Awesome,
Good to know
bro.
you're a junior.
Yeah, just talking to y'all and researching your stuff, man. It's y'all are like actually serious about what y'all are doing.
We try to be, yeah.
I don't think people understand that, and that's why we take what's going on downtown so serious. Because, like I was telling you earlier, this is people like their cars as a hobby, and like you said, is it a hobby? And I really can't say it's a hobby.
Yeah.
It's like a lifestyle, man.
Yeah,
Because
that's a good way to put it.
it's always, I'm always trying to do something drifting, trying to, do this, look at the next car part, look at this, look at events, trying to better my driving, trying to do this, trying to help the guys out, trying to go from one car to another car, trying to build everything else and try to put stuff out there. And like I was telling you, social media is a job now, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you know that, doing what you got to do with the merch and everything else. And it's it's a lifestyle completely. And I don't like considering Drift Corpus as a job because I love doing it. Like,
Right.
I love hosting events. I love getting the crowd together. I love getting people together. Like, I love showboating and showing what these drivers are doing, because at the end of the day, like, you're out there ripping, and the best feeling in the world is people cheering you on, and they don't even know you. Like, so it's like, that's why we take everything going on seriously, because this is a huge thing in our life. I mean,
That's cool.
That's how I met everybody here, and I've known Frank a long time, when he was doing car shows and I was into drag racing imports, you know what I mean? And doing
Cobalt.
everything else. Yeah. Domestic info, but and doing everything else like that, just it consumes so much of you,
I don't want to keep doing it.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. What up, fam? Says Hector Delgado.
Hey, it's Hector.
Yeah, you guys got a huge crowd, man. Just put in a post on Instagram of y'all that y'all are gonna be on here. Like, I got like so many, like 10 followers or something. It's not much, but
that's
like,
awesome.
Dude, that's a lot to us.
Yeah.
Dude,
exactly, bro.
I see my followers on the Drift Corpus and I'm like, damn. Like,
Nice.
My follower count's like going down.
Nice, man.
yeah, it's trying to put Corpus on the map, man. Slowly but surely, just trying to branch out.
So how did you come to get it the old racetrack, Greyhound racetrack?
So
Because y'all were somewhere else before, weren't y'all?
no, so that was the original place that we were at, was at the Greyhound in 2012, and so there's another drift series. It's a Lone Star Drift Series, and that was the only drifting in Texas. Like,
Right.
but you had to go to Houston. There was an events in Dallas, Mineral Wells. We had a drive out, so they had it at an old Greyhound place there in Lamarck, and me and some of the guys that were down here were like, dude, what if we go ask them? And man, here we go. We got dressed up all spiffy. We made a slideshow presentation of what we're gonna do. Like, we did all this stuff and took it out, and we're like, all right, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Yeah. And dude, I was however old I was, I wasn't ready, mentally prepared for that. And dude, it's just, we're taking it one by one, doing what we got to do. And we're like, okay, guys, we got all this. And we go up and, hey, man, so we got a hold of him and we walk up. Hey, sir, yeah, so this is what we want to do. Oh, y'all got this? Yeah. Well, we made you a presentation. Y'all are good. Go for it. It's like, can we finish the presentation first? And a buddy of mine, man, he made us a cool little deal. You know, we went through the safety, the precautions we take, and he's like, yeah, I'll watch it. Show me. And he's like, oh, you are legit. We're like, low key, like, no, but please, God, help us. So trying to do that and trying to get everything going. Like once he said okay, it was like boom, and it took off for us. And the first event we had 25 plus drivers. We got Hooters to sponsor us, some of the local shops to sponsor us. Like, we had an after party somewhere. Yeah, so it was like a big thing that everybody came to. And like, we had I don't know if you know what a dyno is, but a dyno measures a car's horsepower. So we had some local dudes that were trying to get some stuff together, and we said, hey, set up your dyno in the parking lot and come out and like dyno some cars. So man, and we had a car show at Frank and them helped with the car show, and like everybody helped out, and it was like, man, so it was huge. We couldn't believe it. Me and the guys that we first did it with were like,
nice.
Holy shit. Like,
There's a market.
Yeah, there's a market. Like, this is cool.
Dude,
so
yeah. Find your market, find your audience. Reckless DC5, Cami Flores.
It's my smoking hot wife.
Shout out Joshua Green, Seth. Damn.
Oh,
Justin Flores looking all sexy on camera.
shout out to the official Pappy. Got me a haircut. Thank you, sir.
Nice. So what do you think? How do you think the car culture in Corpus has changed over the years? And where do you see it heading?
So, man, it's I'd say there's a separation, kind of, but not really, because there's the hot rod crowd, you know, and they have a hot rod deal in Portland. They have one in Corpus, and they have their own thing. Like, they do their own thing, and they have a Snapkiss deal here, and that's every last Friday of the month, and they are religious about that stuff, and that's all the hot rod guys and everything. And you know, the import scene, it's slowly growing. You know, we used to have Wayne out here host some car shows and get some stuff going, and it's kind of hard for us because it's like I told you, drifting's the skateboarding, and imports, you know, you try to present something like that, people are like, you know what I mean? They give that thing.
Like the oddball cousin.
Yeah,
but call it.
But now slowly, now it's like growing and growing. And like you said, with All Team Bash, you know, they've been hosting at Whataburger Field. So they had been hosting at Whataburger Field, and that was always a good turnout. And now that we've been 2 years back here, I've talked with Kimo and I said, hey, dude, let's team up. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, because I know he pays a pretty penny out there. And I'm like, bro, let me hook you up. Let me save you the cost. Let me do something for the guys. And let me help you out, grow your stuff out. So,
and it was a good turnout.
And it was a huge turnout. So for that turnout, we got to do a demo where we actually got to do ride-alongs. Nice. A handful of the drivers, I picked them out and I said, hey, look, y'all guys have been kicking butt this year. Y'all have been doing it. Y'all have been consistent. Y'all have been doing what you got to do. Sorry, Tony, I didn't pick you. I know you didn't tell me. But yeah, he got benched. I'm sorry, Tony.
He's in the G League.
But we picked some guys that we knew can link the track and can keep a good consistency and that can put on a show for us and that have been supporting us because, you know, you have your drivers that come out and do what they got to do. But these dudes at hardcore, they're the first ones to sign up. Wow. They're always the first ones at driver meeting. They're always making sure themselves plus everybody else is ready for that stuff. So I said, hey guys, let me help you out and let's put on a show for the crowd and make some money. So they were there charging $20-$30 a ride along, and dude, people were making $500-$600. Like people were banking. They
had people lined up at their cars, like waiting.
Yeah, I had both cars out. So I made a deal with my street car and I made a deal with my race car. So my race car, I had it turned down a little bit to 600 horsepower for the day, saved me some tires, and then the street car is one set of tires. So I was going back and forth from car to car, and I made it like a little bit more affordable in the street car and then a little bit more expensive on the race car. Cool. But man, I was back and forth, and I haven't driven that long in a long time. Word, man. I'm surprised my car took it.
Right on. What's going on, everybody? Tony Lamb in the chat.
Tony, sorry, Tony.
John Valderas, OMT Drift. What's going on?
Hey,
you passed my bed.
Thank you, OMT. Thank you.
Right on. Crash once and see what he does. Yeah. Man.
But now it's growing more, and that's what, like we said earlier, when that happens right here, it just pops us back down. Now, you know, as you say, with everything going on, I can't just you know, when I have to look for another venue or we want to look for another venue, I can't just walk up to somebody and say, hey, man, I want to drift in your parking lot. Right. I can't just say that because knowing with what happened and what's going on downtown or what's going on everywhere else, they're like, nah, I don't want another part of that. So I have to have everything, you know, trying to talk to people, trying to present myself as a business owner and as an event host to say, hey, what can I do? How can we work on something? I've gotten the phone hung up on me. I've gotten a direct no. I've gotten hell no's. I've gotten a lot of turndowns. And people don't see that. And I'm like, man, dude, like, and all it takes is these bad apples to hit a little bit. And then boom, it just trickles down. And we've already had to kind of tone us on our events down because I had to, it's 2024. Like I tell all the drivers, sound ordinance is a huge thing. So that's what's shutting down. I mean, there's a track in Houston, the old NHRA drag strip got shut down. The San Antonio drag strip got shut down. Wow. They're building all these houses near. So nobody understands about the sound ordinance that, hey, this can shut us down. Like, and I have no boundaries I tell her, look, if you don't have it, you're not driving. Like, I'm a jerk about it. I'm straightforward about it, but
Gotta
you know
be.
what? It covers me and it covers our events because we got shut down one time and I had, like I told you, I had to pay the dues. I had to pay the time.
Yeah.
I had to do what I had to do. Luckily, the drivers, at the time pitched in and helped us out. But at the same time, it was just like,
All it takes is that one guy.
all it took is that
You
one
know,
guy. And
one
that,
guy to
one
be
bad
too loud.
guy.
and it
I
shuts
went
it
and
down.
shut it,
Wow.
and I had to go talk to the judge, and I saw the cop camera talking to the person complaining about a sound ordinance. And back then, we didn't think of that. Nobody cared about that. There's
Wow.
a refinery right across the street from our deal.
Yeah.
So
on a highway.
on a highway, yeah, and there's the 12 o'clock every day. I know that alarm goes
Alarm
off
goes
because
off.
I'm right there next to it is where I work. So
Yeah.
hearing all that and the noise and everything like that, I didn't think of nothing at it. And now I implement the muffler rule, and I'm like, if you don't have a muffler, you're not driving. I hate to do it. I mean, I love a loud car too, and
Yeah.
I like hearing it all and showboating and doing what you got to do. But there's a time and place for that, and it's not here. Like everybody has to understand. Hey guys, we have rules, and that's kind of what I do here. Is you got to set a boundary for drivers to come in and like. Yeah, you can have your guys come in and just, be reckless and do whatever. But if you don't set that boundary,
Yeah.
that, like they say, that one bad apple can ruin everything.
Damn.
So, yeah, it's a
It-
trickle effect for sure.
They could not like the rule and just, I'm gonna go do my
Yeah.
own thing or whatever,
Yep.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's because I've had to kick people out of the parking lot for doing donuts in the other parking lot. And I'm like, bro, there's a spot right there. Pay me the entry fee and you can go do it. Like, oh no. They got all mad that they popped the tire and I kicked them out and we were getting the cops on them. And I'm like, dude, if you would have paid me the money, you could have went and did that right
Yeah.
there. And I would have let you do your thing, bro.
Did we talk about? We were talking about the police officers like before era, right? Like how some of them are, they kind of like
Yeah.
Like how do y'all deal with that? Like
So-
because there are some that
So now that the Greyhound is a no trespassing, I don't know what the exact law is at for there. We have a cop that stays there 24/7. He stands by, he watches it because that's not only our lot, but there's some pipelines that run through there and it's a private property.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know the name for it, but that guy is super cool. I provide his bathrooms. So I keep my bathrooms out there 24/7 so that way he can use them, and he tells me, hey, they need to get service. I'm like, I got you, fool. Don't worry.
Right, yeah.
But he's cool. Like with all this stuff happening, he shot me. They, like Frank said, they don't know who's in the chats, but he shot me a picture of the flyer and said, what do you know about this? And I was
Yeah.
like,
oh wow.
I was like, you do what you got to do with that. That's not me.
Wow.
And he's like, no, he goes, I know. He goes, man, dude, these people don't understand. I'm like, no, man. He's like, do they not know about y'all? And I'm like, yeah, they sadly do. Like, and people, like I was telling you earlier, people ask to do that, but it's just like, I would love to provide a playground for everybody to do that. But as you see, that one bad apple will set us down, and they don't understand that doing a standstill burnout peels up asphalt, and that's not cheap to go fix out. Like, yeah, we're drifting, but we're also moving while we're drifting. And I tell the guys and the driver, hey, don't do standstill burnouts. You could chunk up the rocks. You can do a lot. And
You're wasting tire. Too.
you're wasting tire at that point. It's like, yeah. But,
Stinks
there's
too. You're like, yeah. How do y'all get used to that anyway? Like, because I see all the smoke coming up from the tires.
Oh,
and stuff.
dude,
At the end of the day,
it's a
your
mental
face
game.
is
Yeah.
So I'm on track and it's like,
I got a special toilet paper where I blow all the black
Yeah.
out of me.
So right, yeah. So as far as that goes, like your car and stuff. So it's a rear wheel car,
Yeah, so I'll stop you there. Drifting is rear wheel drive.
rear wheel
Go
drive.
ahead. Yeah, continue on. Yeah.
No, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, no.
Rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
So obviously you got to keep the tires spinning whenever you're drifting and
Yes.
turning at the same time.
Yeah, because there's those front wheel guys that they do that. There's videos of them doing that in Japan and
Oh, no kidding.
yeah, so they do the front wheel drive. They lock up the back and so everybody, we all used to do this in high school. Everybody used to put the trays under the back tires and
McDonald's
go let the
tray.
car slide and do that.
So that's basically. Oh, sorry, we're
no, you're good.
missing some people over here. Who's that? Alaz Mohammed, Justin stands. Yeah, for that's cool.
Oh,
Marcus.
Nick Ali, my boy.
Who's
Thank you
that?
for serving. Nick Ali, OMT Drift.
Hey, nice. George Salinas from Pure Precision. We need autocross and drift Corpus now. What's autocross? Is that a different type of?
So yeah, it's a different type of driving. So autocross, I used to do autocross from like 2020 to 2022. Basically, you're in a parking lot with cones set out, and you have to navigate. It's a timed event,
Oh, okay.
and it's a 2-day event. You normally get about 6 runs each day, and your average is basically like your score and your certain classes, depending on your mods and what kind of vehicle and power you have.
It's a drift event, like
No,
it's just like an
it's a
obstacle
grip event.
course?
So basically,
grip.
you're
It's a grip. That's what we call it.
So you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can break it loose, but I mean that's not
It's
that's not
frowned
the
upon.
idea.
Yeah.
It can be a front wheel drive, all wheel drive, rear wheel drive. You know,
Yeah,
any.
it's an all open
Yeah.
class.
So what it's being able to maneuver that obstacle course.
It's more of like
as
a
quick as
timed-
you can.
It's a timed.
Okay,
like
okay.
A timed,
Yeah.
yes.
And
Okay.
if you hit a cone, it's like a second added. It's like you get like penalties.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So it's more like I guess you could say like real racing kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you're racing the clock and in a smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, not an actual course because Corpus doesn't have like a road course, you know.
So you're into like so you work on the cars, like the actual engines and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah, mostly just for our stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like it can be time consuming.
Yeah.
Tony's meme. Don't let us work on stuff.
Yeah. So like, it got. We started doing like small suspension work and like stuff that we can get in and out because I don't like having a customer's car overnight.
Right.
You know, just because liability reasons and the bigger the job, the more it's going to cost. The more people are going to be like, "Hey, is my car ready? Is my car ready? Is my car ready?" It's like, guy, we're waiting on parts.
Don't be
They're
that
like,
guy.
You know,
Don't be that
guy.
Trust the process.
like yeah. So we kind of got away from that, and now that we're more into drifting, the shop is basically just we're maintaining our drift cars.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's like every event, someone's hitting a curb. Shout out Tony. Or,
Neighbor. Don't forget neighbor.
Neighbors breaking something every event. So yeah, like the cars are just make one event, break down, back in the shop, wait to get
Wow.
fixed. Yeah.
Wow. And so what's mostly the
And Adam's
maintenance,
car,
like
don't forget
the
it's a Subi, yeah.
struts or whatever you got? I mean, what's most of the maintenance that you see going through there?
Just like I mean, if you hit stuff, you're gonna be replacing control arms and wheels, or
Don't forget the bolt checks, Frank.
bolt
The
checks.
Bolt checks.
Yeah, always bolt check your vehicle before you head out to the track because my stuff was loose as hell. But yeah,
Loctite,
tires.
if you're looking for a sponsor, we're right here.
Yeah. Nicholas Keith, I love Drift Corpus, and my friendship is I've grown with so many people. Thank you, Justin. I've progressed so much and have an outlet to express myself and show out in a safe and awesome place. Yeah, that's awesome.
My boy Nick.
Nick,
Yeah.
good
Nick,
guy.
man,
He can
he's
drive
the-
too.
Yeah, he can drive on a budget, bro.
Yeah.
Now, get it right. Nick, I love you,
Yeah.
but you do it on a budget and you're shredding, dude. Like, yeah, like it's crazy, man. Like we tell you, everybody sees, I need this fast car, I need this. And it's like, no, you don't. Like you can do what you got to do and learn it and keep it to where you can maintain it because, like Frank and them tell you that it's maintaining your car. So if you build something at a caliber that you're barely learning and you're not ready, you wreck it, you do stuff, like it's going to happen. I can't tell you how many wrecks I've been in, how many curves I've hopped, how many people I've hit, how many times I've spun out, like not people as in
probably be better
standing people. Let me get that right.
cars.
Like cars and everything else, running into somebody and doing stuff like that. It's a whole ball game. And I tell people like, look, buy a stock car, learn what you got to do.
Right.
Like don't overkill it because you're going to hate it. You're going to just walk away from it and just want to watch it. And it's like, do something that's affordable, that you can keep, that you can maintain. Because like Frank told you earlier, it is not cheap, man.
Right on.
I just bought 20 tires and they're not going to last me but a couple months. And it's like, man, people don't understand that. Like,
yeah, who is it? Who mentioned it? Nick. He brought up safety, right? Like how important is that to you guys? Because I noticed some of y'all have helmets and those.
oh yeah,
all
harnesses
helmets.
and everything. We have a standard set, driftcorpus.com. You can find the rules and regulation on our stuff, and man, we're strict about that. I got 3 guys on everybody's tail, like on the day, just hey, boom, boom, boom. And shout out to my staff for helping me do everything, because I rely on them to make sure everything's right, to make sure people have their helmets on, to make sure people have their chin strap, fire extinguisher, everything. I tell people, that I mention it every driver meeting, and I hate it because these guys have a bet on me on what I say because I'm very consistent on what I have to say. But it's a point that I have to prove.
You have to be
Chin straps.
Chin straps. I tell everybody, dude, there's nothing more that I hate is watching a video and seeing the dude's chin strap just flop around everywhere and do stuff, because God forbid something happen. And what's going to happen? Like it's the same. Man, and we're in a contact sport. You're in, dude, the dudes hit a light pole out there. You hit a curve. You can hit stuff, and what's going to happen? You're going to get whiplash. People have roll cages, the steering wheel, and everything out. Yeah, so roll cages aren't so much mandatory in what we are, other than for like a convertible, just because of the fact that if they flip over and that's just straight glass. Yeah. So we make sure that all the convertibles are have the roll cage and everything like that. But a lot of that, you know, the fastest, other than like some of my friends that come with some higher builds and stuff like that, we try to go a lot faster. But the average guy that's out there, you're staying in second gear.
I was wondering, which gear do you stay in mostly when you're drifting? Yeah,
so like you can do, some people have third, stay in third, but that's, like I said, the higher horsepower cars, unless they have their car geared out. But man, average out there, we're like doing 40 miles an hour, 45.
So you won't even.
Yeah, and you really don't have to worry about that. And plus, a lot of the cars nowadays, they come with the solid steel door bar in there. So that's one thing, is that we make sure that a lot of the cars that, and that's a drift spec without a lot of event hosts, is we all know which cars have what and what will allow to pass through and everything out. So we make sure that,
to explain better, because I don't know if he.
Oh yeah.
So like intrusion bars. So like if you're drifting in tandem, you're side by side with another guy.
Okay.
If something goes wrong, you could end up in his door. You know what I mean? And if you don't have that bar,
nice.
Like
it'll keep it straight instead of like
I got you. It's gonna take your that passenger impact, or whatever. So
like the Z
and all that. You gotta have that bar, some type of protection to keep the other car from crunching into your passenger.
And you'll see it. Like if you see somebody get hit, you see that bar pop up, and you're like, oh damn, they were going fast. Like they were not, and it happens. Like people spin out in the front, and somebody hits them. Like, and some
like
people get mad. Yeah, some people get mad. Some people know, but it's just like
it's part of the game.
Like everybody,
it's interesting because you mentioned that second car, and it's not like you're not racing the car in front of you. You're trying. Well, or are you? Or
no, that's where Justin said it's about it's like skateboarding or BMXing. It's about that style. That it's. I don't see drifting as like a competitive sport. It can be. You can be judged on points and style or whatever, or how angle and speed. But for me, it's just like a jam session with the boys. You're just going out there having fun. Driving with your buddies. Getting sideways, and it's a lot of fun.
And there's a lot of different styles. There's a lot of different events with a lot of different. There's some guys that are doing like it's a car show on wheels. And these guys come with
there's some good looking cars out there.
Yeah, these guys, their wheels cost more than my car. But basically, in a competition, the straight up thing is follow the leader. Like that's the that's exactly.
Can you do with that? So, it's like up in the game of.
So basically, you're matching that car following. Yes.
Can you do that? Like,
in the competitive mode? But when you're jamming, it's like you're trying to, you're competing with your friend. But you're competing with yourself as well.
Nice.
So
that's awesome, man. Rudy Martinez, appreciate you. Rusty Moore, what's going on? It's people in cars dancing, talking about who's going.
So Rusty's one of the guys that comes out to the events, man. And
Rusty's better.
Rusty is super cool. And I'm going to be straight up. You'd look at Rusty and you wouldn't think Rusty looks like he's going fishing in the afternoon. Yeah. Late 40s, mid 40s, Rusty. I'm sorry, I don't know how old you are, but he looks like he's got to go fishing. He comes out in his sweatshirt and he's ready to jam. And this dude puts on a deal. He's in a 4-door car with a supercharger. And it looks good. And this dude can jam. And you're like, all right.
I don't know if you saw this at ATB. Rusty would go out and it was just like smoke show, and then neighbor would go out and he'd be like smoking. And then Rusty got out again and he's like, oh, he's really putting on.
Yeah, they have a competition between each other. Yeah, and it's crazy the amounts, and that's what, like, all my best friends, I know everybody drifting. That's where I've met all my family, and you would never think, like, oh man, this dude can drive, and it's like, oh, this guy could drive, like, oh snap, like you got some guys that jam straight up, and you can't believe it.
So who was somebody down? Go up, Maya, real quick. I think it was John Valaderas or something. He was mentioning something about, where's it at? Right here. Joey Valderas. He said, can't wait for the December. I guess the thing you're doing.
Oh yeah, December 21st. Yeah, December 21st. We got an open bash style event, Driftmas Bash. no competition, no nothing. Just come out and jam and enjoy the year and celebrate, how long we've been doing this and the year, because it's been a crazy up and down year for us car wise. Everybody's been breaking, everybody's been doing new mods, everybody's been getting better. And
Plug the toy drive.
Oh yeah, the toy
and
drive.
the toy
yeah.
drive.
Oh,
So these guys here, they've been hosting it for years now, huh?
I
Toy
think it's our
drive.
4th or 5th year doing it for
Yeah, in general.
Driscoll's Children's Hospital.
a great event.
We get together with the community. Everyone donate a toy for a boy or girl.
Yeah.
And then after the event, we'll go drop it off to the Driscoll Children's Hospital.
Where do we donate?
It's
at
going
the
to be at the event.
Oh, okay, okay.
We'll have a booth out there, and just
Are y'all doing a raffle this year too?
I
he
don't
is.
know. I'm gonna try to get some stickers out so we can at least hand out some stickers.
Yeah, so last year they did a raffle and like some of the guys got some swag and some
Cool.
other cool stuff and
Yeah, these
Y'all-
guys and
y'all wrap it
Drip. So who does the stickers? Right here, Drift Corpus, bro.
Oh yeah,
Bonet, Frick, come back, please. Please come back.
God,
We
come
miss
back,
you. We
please.
miss you, Bonet. And then we got Drift
Don't
Corpus.
sue me for the sticker either.
Yo, bring that three shrimp, three fish back, baby.
I was a 4-4 guy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I was
You're the 4-4. Yeah, yeah.
four extra
Got that
rolls,
3-3 ain't
extra
enough.
fries. Yeah.
And then we got Drift Corpus hooked me up with a T-shirt also. He got the 4X, bro. He showed love. He showed love.
My man said I'm 4X. I
Yeah.
said, don't worry, bro. I got you. I got you.
And of course the koozie. And then you guys got stickers and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah,
So,
we gave you some stickers.
Hero Garage. And then this hat right here, he blessed me with already.
I don't even have a hat. I don't even, Frank, no.
You guys know I wear hats on every episode. So.
Maybe for Christmas.
Blessing. Marcel Hernandez, Andrew Vaughn, England. Appreciate y'all being in the chat. Luis Velasquez. Yeah. Ask Frank about
Frank.
Grizzly Nation. What's up with that?
Glizzy Nate. Frank
Oh,
loved my
sorry,
hat.
Glizzy Nation.
Like pretty much everyone in Hero kind of like really likes hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Chili dogs.
Facts.
Every year we do
Oh yeah.
Glizzy Fest. I know that there's other Glizzy Fests like in Austin and stuff, but this is our Glizzy Fest, our version of it.
Cool.
Hero
So,
Garage.
Yeah, the Hero Garage Glizzy Fest. So actually this year we teamed up with Drift Corpus and we had a little jam session. That's
It's 2 years, right?
Was it 2 years?
Second? Yeah.
I'm getting old, so I'm forgetting. Man.
I almost forgot too.
Yeah. So we hopefully next year we'll do it again. We'll have a barbecue, all you can eat, bottomless glizzies,
Nice.
and drive. Like I invited a bunch of people, but not everyone showed up because it does get hot.
Right. Right.
Summertime is brutal, man. Like
That's why I told you I built that car with AC. 'cause that AC
Well, no wonder you got the December event
Yeah,
too.
oh, yeah. Oh man. And see, and that's what so we took off this summer and that was probably the smartest thing, one of the smartest things in my life I've ever done
I
because
thank you for that.
so last year we did a summer event and then some bright idea, I don't know whose it was probably mine, said, let's do a 2-day summer event. Oh my God, man. On Sunday, I was dead, bro. I was like, and I wasn't even driving as much. I was, hosting and doing what I had to do. And we had a competition the next day and just doing that in general was like,
Oh,
never again. So,
Wow.
so we set out a schedule at the beginning of the year. We'll post it everywhere that we can. And, we took off the summer and everybody was like, oh, thank God. I got a lot of positivity out of it. Everybody was like, oh. And, we're getting to that age. Me and one of my best friends, we talk about it and we're like, okay, bro, we're not doing summer events. I'm like, hey, bro, that's why we bought a sim. I'm not mad. Like, we'll sim. We can go to the track one day and do a lap or two and then we'll go home.
did you used to do it like more often, like earlier?
So when we first started doing, we would do it like every 3 months, every other month and stuff like that because we were renting the lot just for the day.
Right.
So it was kind of like if somebody else had something going on and the Greyhound track was still active at the time too. So we would kind of have to plan it out. And now that once it kind of died down and they closed the doors and it was only the simulcast on there, we were able to do a little bit more and more.
Wow.
So being that we have to deal with the sound and that we have to do with everything, I try to keep it once a month and try to spread out the days because I'm a shift worker. So
Right.
people don't understand is my 1 weekend off. That's when I host the events. So I'm working when I'm not supposed to be working. So
Yeah.
doing that. So we just try to separate it as much as we can and try to do it to where we can allow the locals. And I think this year, man, was probably the most improved I've seen drivers go because we had an event the first 3 months we took off, and then it's every month, or we took off the 3 months for summer, and then we had it, and we were hosting private days during the summer and let people like, hey, because I still had to pay rent, so I tell people, hey, look, if y'all want to do a private day, a private session, like we can book y'all and do stuff. And some dudes had bachelor parties, they had Glizzy Fest, they had everything else, so I would book those days in between to kind of help us, pay our dues and stuff like that. And we would just continue with that. But being, like I said, with the sound ordinance and everything else, it's like, man, then you got to deal with the people. Oh, they're doing it every weekend. And it's like, man, you got to deal with that. And then it's like, okay, like, look, I don't want to, put them too close together. I need
That's
to
what I was going to say.
them.
Like, is there more of a turnout the less you do it throughout the year?
So, yeah. So, kind of, it just depends, because the locals, man, not a lot of people can afford to drive, and that's like not on them, but man, we got to go to Houston now. That's 3.5, and it's 4 hours now because they're on the backside of Houston.
Oh wow!
So then going to San Antonio, San Antonio's had their events. They've been looking for a couple venues. They've been in and out of some like that, and that's the closest. There's nothing in the valley, and when you got to drive that way, some of these kids out here and some of these people, they don't have the money to buy a truck, a trailer to do stuff. So it's cool to have an outlet here for people to afford and do that. So. And that's where I was going with the people improving, man. These dudes, I haven't seen this much drivers come out of Corpus that have been improving and improving and improving. Mm-hmm. And it's like you can ask Adam the pictures and the quality that's coming out.
Because like we were talking earlier, when you started in 2012 is when I was starting doing photos and stuff, and I've seen it start out and we're very good, slowly dip down, and then now it's like coming straight forward back tenfold, and it's awesome to see, man. And it's awesome to see the drivers come out and just being able to support them, taking photos of them and getting their happiness out of, recapping their day. And it's cool to see, dude.
Who does the drone footage? Does somebody?
So there's Bert. So Bert's drone view, he comes from the valley, man. So he was into biking and all that other stuff too. And he is actually the Camaro on the cover of the flyer that I sent you.
Wow.
That's his car.
No
so
way.
he got the itch, and now he's like, hey, bro. And now, so I could kind of wiggle him. I'm like, hey, bro, because I know footage ain't cheap. And I'm like, hey, bro, what do I got to trade you for the footage, man? Like, what do we got to do? So now he's jamming too. There's a Hiroki. He comes out too. And these dudes, man, they're set up, bro. Like they come and they usually sit by my tent, but now we have another area for them that they go sit by. Yeah. And these dudes have their goggles on. Wow. They're like in the zone, and and you're sitting there, and like there's a couple of videos of us messing with Bert, and he's like doing some stuff, and we're like messing with him in his face. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool, like doing that. But I mean, dude, the drone footage and everything else is like that's a whole other ball game.
Dude,
like,
for sure.
Like,
I was watching a drone on YouTube of Drift Corpus, and I went to another video where it was just like flat video. I was like, dude, that drone footage makes a big difference.
And it comes out like it's
really good.
I can't even like imagine. And you see them and you're drifting, and it's crazy because you're focused on the guy in front of you, so you're right there, and then you just see a and you're like, and at this last event, we went into San Antonio, and Bert was hanging out in my trailer, and he was like that. And I saw him hanging out right here because I know his drone. He's like, the green drone is mine. I'm like, all right, cool. And I see his drone dip in the front of my car, and I don't see it pop back up. And I was like, oh, I hope I didn't. So and he showed the footage, and you see him dip down and go up, and it's like, man. And somebody's probably rich too, because Hiroki at the last it was like 3 months ago, one of his drones lost connection and flew towards 37.
Oh, wow.
We spent hours looking for it. Me and my wife went out there the next day looking. And I had my son out there
in the refineries or something.
Yeah, and we were all looking, and I asked the owners of the Greyhound, like, if y'all see this, and they're like, oh man, was it expensive? I was like, $1,500. And they're like, oh my God. I was like, dang, yeah. So it was crazy, man, that they take that equipment out there and they are getting sketched with that, but they get the best footage.
Yeah, man. I could see how
the videography on that is so crazy, man.
Yeah, it's funny how like that's important for your like what you do and your business and like social media and what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and that's why, like I said, I like bringing Adam to the table, because it's a huge help. Like it's these small pictures, somebody else can be like, oh, that's a picture of your car, but other people don't understand is we work off of that in general. Like you're trying to post it up there, and you're trying to do what you got to do, and it's like, man, this thing can go a long way just for that small tenth of a second of a photo, man. Can help us out big time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot, everybody in the chat. Josh Roku, Nicholas Key,
Josh.
Jenna Garza, JNA Garza. Carson takes the best pictures now.
Oh,
Is that a shot? Is that a shot right there? Is that a shot?
we're gonna remember that at the Carson Bowl. We'll remember that at the Carson Bowl with Jamie.
Wow. So I sometimes I talk about AI and stuff like that, and like I guess thinking about that, I'm thinking about electric cars. Would that ever
man.
get in the game? What do y'all think?
We're
I
gonna
don't think they could survive.
We're gonna do the electric slide. Is what. Nah, man. So like I was telling you, man, my buddy that started one of his first events was at Drift Corpus. He went to become a pro driver.
Wow.
And Randall Waters, man, appreciate you. Now he owns his own shop in Houston, and he does this, and he does his own drifting events, IAS Drift in Houston. He does his own things.
Shout out.
And shout out to him, man. We've always backed up off each other on ideas for our events, making sure they don't overlap, making sure we get everything going. But Randall's one of his first competitions. Well, his first competition was here, and now he became a pro driver. And it's crazy that he worked with some guys that built a Camaro that was electric.
What?
In the pro thing, yeah. So
In
they
the pro?
built, in the pro. So it was the first electric one. They were getting everything going, and
Wow.
they had their issues with it. They had it. He no longer drives now, but he stays active in the community, hosting his events, and he goes and does professional driving at a lot of like Toyota places, and he does his stuff, and he's hooked in with the right people where it keeps him busy. But yeah, they built a Camaro, and another guy drove it the next one, but just with the battery and the weight and everything. And imagine, when you're drifting, you're following a car and you're hearing what that car does. And yeah, you're looking at the brake lights, but when you don't hear nothing but tires burning, you're like, I can only imagine at a pro level, driving 1,000 horsepower cars, and this electronic car in front of you is not making a noise. And it's like, so they've had their issues with it and stuff like that. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I saw the car get sold to like somebody. It was a lot of money in Dubai or something like that. Like it's in a museum, or I don't think it's actively drifted no more, but you're seeing people that are coming out with manufacturer sponsors doing a lot of electronic stuff. And now it's like, okay, it's getting there, but it's not like your car. You know what I mean? I don't think everything will go over. I don't think it'll go over that way.
Do you think maybe sometime later?
Yeah, just laws, man. Like California, all these laws that's going down and everything. The House of Drift is what they call the track, just shut down. Oh, in California, and now that California is doing all this stuff, it's like, man, how long is that going to last? A lot of those guys are moving to Florida because Florida's allowing a lot more.
Because of regulations and regulations stuff like that. Wow.
A lot of the famous YouTubers and the car followers that we follow are all moving out of there now because you can't do a thing over there now.
Yep. No. So I guess with the new presidency or whatever, will that have an effect on what y'all are doing now? Or, I mean, does it affect y'all?
I mean, I think for the industries that we work in, I mean, we should be.
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So he's he works in the oil field. I work I'm a tank farm. So that keeps us busy.
Yeah, for sure, man. Especially I'm in the LP, so
nice.
We're always hauling that stuff. We got Derek Etheridge. He says, y'all are doing great things for the car community. Shout out to Adam and the countless shoots he has done for my wife and I. Y'all are doing the Lord's work, keeping the community alive. Corpus Christi Originals, Adam, how do you say that? Delgadillo.
There you go.
Reaction Motorsports, bro. Dude, that's awesome, man. And so you take, so I guess he's talking about wedding photos or something like that? You do other stuff too?
Oh, yeah. I do a little bit of everything. I started off with doing like beauty work and automotive stuff. Still do automotive to this day, but yeah, no, I've done stuff for him and his wife, and he has a Datsun, and take photos of that too. So
nice,
pretty cool, dude.
Right on.
He's still waiting on mine, and my wife shoots Cami. Get everything back, please.
Send him an email.
Answer him, please.
Straight Line Performance and YouTube. Thanks a lot. Shout out
my brother.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, I gotta get that brother love, bro. Yeah. In fact, shout out to Maya back there, the producer. It's my little brother back there. Killing it.
Josh Roku can drive.
And Josh Roku too,
one of the OGs here too.
He's the guy that commented on your deal. He's like, he can't ask the questions, but Josh is an OG, man. Yeah. So Josh, if Josh was still here, I'd ask you to like let him come in too and make him, because he was one of the OGs.
Yeah. Josh was an inspiration for me, like 20 years ago when I was getting into it. Like he was with Voodoo Racing and stuff, and those guys were like those are the top guys. And
So you knew
that's what I
in
wanted
import
Hero Garage
world,
to be. You know,
those guys, Voodoo was like, okay, like
Wow.
you don't mess
yeah.
with them. Like they
Respect
know.
to the OG guys.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Like
Man.
it's weird that we're like, oh, we're OG guys now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Man,
don't
it's
feel
crazy,
it.
yeah.
I
How's that
know.
feel?
Yeah.
How does that
It's
feel for you?
feels
wild,
weird.
dude. It's crazy.
It's a
'cause
different, it's
the
different.
hill that we've gone through and everything. Like, and Josh, thank you, Josh, for making me spend thousands of dollars because Josh, his car is super cool, and we
All
did a
the
little
cars are super
we did a little drag race, and Josh kind of walked away from me, and I said, "All right, well, looks like we got to spend some money now, Josh." Move back home, and Josh had to move away. Josh, I'm gonna say that's why you moved. Josh. But yeah, we would go to San Antonio with these dudes. We would go to the drag strips. Like, man, those guys set a bar, and
Yeah.
I don't want to say we've surpassed it, but I feel like, dude, like it was an inspiration to us to
Yeah.
get to the point that we're at now because these dudes set a tone.
Do y'all
And
feel? Do you feel like you're in their shoes now, as far as influencing the younger
Somewhat because
generation?
I mean, I think the times are different.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like Adam had said earlier, social media kind of changed a lot of things.
Mm.
So like, it's not as like back in the day, you had to go out. You had to go out to the meets. You
Yeah.
had to
Talk to people.
like
and all that,
physically
yeah.
be out there.
Network
And now
and
you're just scrolling.
you could never leave your
Instagram,
house
TikTok,
and be famous as hell. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
and that's where I think a lot of things are going wrong because these kids are seeing, oh, they're burning out downtown. Oh, they're
Yeah.
doing donuts downtown. Oh, we can do that.
It's a different
And it's hard to get the word out. Like, hey, if you want to do this in a safe environment, like Drift Corpus, hit up Justin. You know, you can do it for a small fee, safety inspection, go crazy. You don't have to do it in the streets. But with social media, it's just that's all they see. You know,
Yeah.
it's like where's the safe venue? It's out there, but it's kind of hard to
There's
get
a
the word out.
There's a time and place.
time and
and-
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
And follow the right people that can get that word out. So
like you have a respect. There's a certain level of respect that you
Oh
have to
yeah.
have.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
like Josh just said, don't forget Road Atlanta. Like we went. Josh was one of the few. Like I was drifting and doing stuff and going out of town. Like whenever we first started drifting, like I was telling you earlier, how I got into it. My best friend was building a car that took forever, and he finally took me for a ride. And I was like, that was in 2008,
Wow,
and I was like, oh my god.
wow, that's
I was
cool.
like, and I was, dude, I had a second gen Camaro with a big block, and
Wow,
you
wow.
couldn't. I was like, dude, that's burning out with style. And he took me for a ride. I was like, yeah. So
Cool.
my best friend Raymond, man, he hooked me up and he got me into going that, and then now like I say that because when Josh says don't forget Road Atlanta, it's like, man, that was a huge step for me because I'm helping this dude that I looked up to that would mess with nothing but pure greatness in cars.
Wow.
Like he had magazines. He was one of the first out of Corpus, I feel like, that would come out and do magazines and that would do stuff that I know of to set the bar to everything. And then Josh invited me to go help him
Right.
set up his car because he has an old school 86 Corolla.
beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
car.
Oh man.
Nice.
He's got two of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that one that he had, came out in magazines, came out in everywhere, and we were in Atlanta and we're there, and it was for a drifting thing, but they did a road race time attack before that, and me and a couple of the guys from the Voodoo Racing team were out there helping Josh out, and I'm like, I could not believe that I was here on this stage
Wow.
helping Josh out, like he entrusted me to do stuff, and to me, I was like,
Where
oh my God, Josh, like dang.
Yeah,
but
man.
but just helping him and seeing him do what he had to do and drive his tail off and get where he got. People were coming over there and talking with us, and I met so many people just in that one small thing, and people came up thinking we're famous. I'm like, bro, we're from Corpus, dog. Like we're from Corpus Christi, man. Like you don't know. Yeah, you don't even know where that's at.
Hey, what's up, Luis Velasquez? He wants an opinion on what's happening downtown. We talked about that a little bit early on the podcast. You might want to flip back on that, but so basically, like one bad apple kind of spoils a bunch for you guys, and it sucks.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Also too, around that same time that happened, someone was trying to do like an unsanctioned event, doing like burnouts and stuff.
They had
like
a burnout competition.
Yeah, trying to do a
with a trophy.
burnout with
Oh my
trophies
God.
without approval.
Downtown at
Using-
the American Bank Center.
Oh
So,
no!
Yeah.
like, it's about doing it the right way, getting the right permits, the right approval, the right venues, and like I said, there's time and place to do it. You
Yeah.
know,
And that's why
You don't have to do it illegally, basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like pay
And-
the money to do it right, and you can make it happen. You know, like
And on that point, like I said, I always tell people, look, yeah, there's a time and place for stuff. Yeah, there's whatever, but you're going to learn more in 30 minutes on the track than you are 2 to 3 hours on the street, because you're there and you're focused on what you're having to do, what you're having to go. And like I said, I know everybody's done their path. Everybody's has it. Everybody does this. There's this, there's this, there's this. And that's not to bash on nobody or not to put it out. But when we're doing it at the track and we're trying to set a standard, it's like, hey man, like this is what we're trying to do. Like, come out, come jam, come do what you got to do, put on the support and help these other guys go. Because like I told you, I don't have to travel to go do what I love doing. I do it right here in my backyard. It takes me 17 minutes to get from my house to the track. Wow. I know that because I've ran late a million times. So I'm right there. So, you know, my wife gets mad at me because I drive slow, and I'm like, man, I take out all my stuff on the track. I don't got to drive, you know what I mean? It's like, maybe you're going 55, it's 65. I'm like, I don't care.
Thanks a lot, you guys, for being in the chat. We got YouTube and Facebook firing up. And I got a notification on my Restream account saying 100 messages today with the Restream chat. Appreciate you guys. Cami Flores, Nicholas Keith. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah, my wife's not lying. We can't go nowhere without me being recognized. And I love it, but I hate it. But I love it because we try to get people out, man. You know, some guy at AutoZone, I was buying a party. He's like, your name looks familiar. You're the drifter. And I'm like, hell yeah. I was like, dude, we got an event tomorrow. Come out. Good, and I saw him at the event and I was like, bro. And he's like, yeah. So just knowing that we can get people out there, like, I'm not trying to make $1 million off of this. I'm not trying to like become the best guy out there to drift. I'm just trying to go jam with my friends. Like that's the main thing, and do it in a safe place where we could put on a show for everybody.
What are some things y'all would say, like, I guess, to the community like, I guess, since the recent stuff that's been happening, what's something that you would like for them to know or that would help you guys out? You know what I mean? Something that's in y'all's thoughts or in y'all's mind that you would like for people
from
to
an
know.
inside perspective, I would say come attend one of our events or one of his events. You know, there's not many like events in Corpus for automotive, you know, things that happen. I mean, you got Drift Corpus, maybe 1 or 2 car shows throughout the year, but I mean, for someone that doesn't know or has a negative thought to it already, I would say come on out. The events are free, you know, check them out. And it's very family oriented, you know, like you get an idea of what goes on for the drift scene here. And it's,
and so we don't pay for spectators or nothing. I let people go out there and just watch it for free, just trying to get people, and like the amounts of people that get drawn into it because of that, it's a huge thing on me. And like Adam said, there's very few events that happen here and there. There's the SCCA guys as well. You know, if you're not into drifting, we understand. We're not going to shove this down your throat and tell you, hey, come drift, come do this. Because James over with the SCCA, they have their own program thing. They do what they got to do there. He has his own class, like Frank was saying. Yeah, he's the autocross guy. So they do it out in Robstown at the fairgrounds. So while that's not being used, they're out there renting that out. And they're doing, and they also have events out in Bevo as well, too. But it's drifting's not for everybody. Like I said, it's a skateboarding. You got your skateboarders, you got your BMX guys, and then you got the rollerbladers. So, but yeah, you know, there's plenty to do, and there's plenty of people out there to outreach. And like I tell everybody, they have a burnout pit that in the valley at Edinburgh Motorsports Park. That's all they do. That's if you want to go do burnouts and you want to go do something to where you don't have to look over your shoulder, you want to show off to everybody and you want to do it, you got to go over there. They do what they have to do, and they do it in a safe environment. Or
start one here but do it legal, do it the right way.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like we've had people come up to us, hey, what do we got to do to start these events and these events and these events? And it's like, the next thing you know that you have to do is like, okay, now we got to find somewhere for this to happen, because you can't just go and do this. Like I said, you can't go and do this here, and finding land and property. And like we talked about earlier with all the tracks closing and everything else now, like Corpus, we have the real estate, but it's the money that's the, it's the issue. And we're already putting all of our money in the car, so we can't really put it in the land. So just trying to reach out to there and do stuff like that is a big thing, and people don't understand. You put a lot of people together, you can make something happen. And that's how we did what we're doing today. You know, I talk to these guys every day, and we just bounce ideas off of each other, me and a couple of my best friends. I have, my best friend Ben in San Antonio. I call him, we talk for 45 minutes on the day, all the time, just bouncing ideas off of each other to do, and like, what do we got to do to be better? What do we got to do? Where do we have to go? What do we, what do the people like? Where can we go next? How? And
have you always had that type of mindset to where like we got to do it We got to do it like this. You know what I mean?
No, because like I said, drifting's an outlook or an open, what do you want to call it? Like an open outlook for yourself. Like you can just go and be you, and you got your guys that come over. Shout out to Darian. He comes out with his car, looking janky, but that dude drives and does what he has to do and gets it done, and then you got other guys like Nick. He does it on a budget, but he puts his car together and makes it look well, and he has to do what he has to do.
Right.
You got your guys like me. I'm going to put a lot of money into my motor and do what I got to do and come jam and do what I have to do.
2 cars out there.
Yeah, 2 cars. And then, you got the other guys that come out with style. They got the wheels, they got everything else, hot boy wheels, they got everything else.
Cool.
They're making their car look, and at the end of the day, we're all driving together. You're not gonna. It's a way to express yourself, but doing it together and in a safe environment, like what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's not just the imports. There's Camaros out there, Mustangs. It's,
Yeah. Oh man.
the guy with the GTO. That thing was
Oh
cool.
yeah, dude.
That thing was cool to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, there's like he's saying, it's an open outlook. We're not gonna say, oh, this guy has this car, like dude, yeah, 'cause you freak out seeing what comes out there, and you're like I told you, you built this in your car, like you built this, like okay, like do what you got to do, man, and just like, and then you were talking about Ken's car earlier, that the cop car,
police car, yeah.
the police car, man. He puts this thing, and everybody looks at that car, and I'm like, man, you need to zoom in on that car, because Ken's a crazy driver, and he does not care at all, and he will put it in your door and leave it there. But yeah, and it's just like it's a way to express yourself that I don't want to police that. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna police is safety, and be like, hey, look, you gotta have this, you gotta have this, you're cool. Hey, do what you gotta do. Some guys, oh man, I'm gonna do this and this. Hey, bro, that's not gonna work, but do what you gotta do. Like, hey, try it. See what there's a guy that comes out, and he's been coming out, and he has a Crown Vic. And he's had it automatic for years. And like, I want to tell him, hey, bro, make it standard and do it. And he's like, no, it's having fun. And he does it. And now he finally converted it to do what he's got to do. But it's a way, a budget way that he found to express himself. And it's like, dude, hell yeah, kick some ass. Do what you got to do, man. I'm not going to judge you. Like, drive. Like,
that's awesome, Bob.
Yeah.
Bro. Let me see. So you have like a promo ready, like that you would say to the camera for Driftmas
Bash 4.
Yeah, hold on. Look into that camera and say it so we can reclip it.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So make sure to come and find us, 5302 Leopard, December 21st, Driftmas Bash. Gates open at 9 o'clock. Driving starts at 11, or if I feel like it, a little bit earlier. But come out. It's free to spectate. Come drive. Come watch. Come get a ride along. Come enjoy the town with us, and see what we got to do.
Toy drive.
Yeah.
And co-drive. Co-drive too. Tell your friends.
Toy drive.
Oh, sorry. Tell your friends too to come drive, but the toy drive too. So come out, bring a toy. Make sure you find neighbor, Tony, Miggy, Adam. Who else is there? Zach, Jason, Joey, all them at the tent. Go check them out. John, and whoever else I forgot. I'm sorry. I only know your nicknames, but yeah, come out, find them there. Give a toy. Get a donation, and we appreciate that big time. It's not only true to our hearts, but it's true to everybody else's and to the kids.
Word. Night Kid 1, drifting is a release to escape daily stress and our responsibilities for a good time with the boys and to be kids again and to cut loose. Yeah.
Bam.
Right on. You guys, is there anything else you guys would like to share before we take off?
Oh,
Unless you want to keep having a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I do want to say thank you
You're the boss,
for
yeah.
having us here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
letting us talk, and it's pretty cool, man. Like,
Right on.
I didn't even know this was, the
Man,
thing. And
I'll say the same thing about like drifting in Corpus, dude. I had no idea. I mean, I'm not really into cars. I drive a car. Pretty much it.
you're halfway there.
Yeah, and that's
It's cool.
I appreciate it big time, man, because it's like I'm always telling people, everybody, when they think of drifting, they think of me from Corpus, because I've been hosting this for like 12 years, and it's kind of cool to put that out. And I want to start outreaching now that we're more. It was a fun thing. It is still a fun thing. It's still good. But now that I have the venue locked in and doing what we have to do until we can survive all this stuff that's going on, I want to outreach to people. I want to bring people out. And I'll tell you, like, I don't charge people to come out and vend, to be vend. I don't charge nothing.
You have vendors out
Yeah,
there?
so I have Odyssey Toys. He comes out for all the Hot Wheels and stuff like that.
Cool.
One of my best friends that I grew up with, Martin, with his Southern Goat Barbecue, he comes out and he serves up all day. J&A, they come out and they just started coming out. They got their little business together with some tea, some milk tea, and man, tea is good. Like, I don't know,
I got
it messes up my stomach, but oh my god, it's good. But yeah, just trying to get everybody here just out there. Like, I don't want to charge and make money off of them. Like, if they want to donate to me, that's cool. But just getting the community out here to get together and have a good time and get the kids out there. That's why it's cool having the guy with the Hot Wheels out there, because he sells all the Hot Wheels and everything else.
Oh, my son goes crazy over those.
Yeah, dude, this dude has a
those.
whole freaking 10 by 20 tent set up, and like he's ready to go, and he's got cars for days. But you know, talking with y'all and stuff like that, I know y'all have the produce shop and everything down here, and y'all have y'all's own little deal. You know, I just got my hair cut up here from the official. So my friend Pappy, I've known him forever, you know, well, since I met my wife, because that's one of her best friends. But, you know, he was like, dude, you need to come in and get with these guys and showcase what y'all got, man, because it's all self-expression out here and doing what you got to do to like get the business out and get Corpus out, you know, with all the stuff downtown too, with the art walk and everything else, man. Like we're growing. Dude. Like Corpus is growing. And I feel like
that's what I love about you, dude, is it's not about what you do. It's about doing it for others, getting new people, new faces to join in on the sport. And from my outside perspective, that's why I love being out there supporting your events and all the drivers that come out to attend. Is like, it's really cool. It's really fun. And like, you have to go out there and see it.
Yeah.
And to add to that, like I came from like show cars and stuff, you know, making cars look nice, sit nice.
Yeah.
And then once COVID hit, like the shows kind of stopped because, you know, couldn't do any more indoor stuff. Did the autocross thing. It's fun, but it really wasn't for me. And then Justin kind of like, hey, you know, come out here. You know, this is when they were doing the Beeville thing. And, you know, just, like I said, I came from show cars. Don't be scared to get your car out there. You don't have to chase another guy or be chased. You can just get on the track by yourself. Yeah. Learn the vehicle, you know, learn control, throttle control, clutch input, you know, all type of transitioning. Yeah. It's, you can show up there in a stock car, show car, you know, just learn it.
Just learn how to do it.
You don't need 500 horsepower, you know. I was doing it in 150 horsepower FRS, you know. Like it's harder, you know, because you don't have the power, but you know, you learn the car, and that's what it's about: learning how to maneuver that car, how to control it, you know. Yeah, right. So all the kids doing it downtown in the streets, just hit up Justin, Drift Corpus. Like, it's super easy. Get a helmet. That's pretty much all you need safety wise, you know. And you can show up in a stock car.
And don't do it under the influence, man.
Like, no, especially
be careful, man. That's a machine you're operating.
Oh yeah, no, people don't get. Everybody wants to get up close to the cars. I'm like, bro, chill.
Sorry, my bad. I'll step back.
Like, the media people, I make them sign a waiver for. You're on track, right, dude?
Hey, one of your first events, I almost got run over. Yeah, because remember I would be out there.
Yeah, you were with the
I was out there, and I don't even know who it was. It was a G35. Just came at me and just like 180 and reversed into me, like, oh my god.
I know. And some of these photographers are out there, and I'm like, bro, you do not know them. Like, go like, I want to tell you who's good and who's not good, but it's just like, bro, like, hey, go back. Like,
it's sketchy. Wow.
Yeah.
Good thing I had my vest.
Dude, has anybody gotten hurt at any of your events?
No, man. So like the worst accident that's ever happened out there. It was a freak accident. The car understeered and it was overpowered, and it hit a light pole.
Oh wow!
And like he got bumps and bruises and stuff like that, but it happens. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell people, like, the stricter we are on safety, the less I have to worry about. Like, I love my events and I love doing what I love to do because I don't have to baby these dudes. I set a standard. Like I said, I set a standard for people to come in, obey the rules, do what you got to do. So that way I'm not there babysitting everybody all day. Cause that's a whole nother job. If I can sit there and enjoy the event and hype up people and like every once in a while, hey dude, like do this. Okay, cool. Hey man, make sure. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. You know what I mean? Police like that. It's fine. But when you have to constantly, hey dog, hey dude, hey, stop. Hey, well, you know, that's a whole nother thing. But just staying on top of people like that and being on their safety is like a whole. People run over the curve. They've done stuff like that. They've got a couple bumps and bruises, but doing it in a small area like that and having the outlet to make sure when we set up the tracks to make it more, like I know Frank was saying, it's a big turn, And it's like, yeah, it's a big turn in your eyes, but to me, there's plenty of room for that guy to mess up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of
There's an escape route.
Yeah, it's an
somewhere.
escape route to where, yeah, if we were at a track, it'd be a lot different. If you're doing stuff on a narrow road, but you make the tracks a little bit more, that guy can play with the car and go, oh, that's what it's going to do. Okay, I'm going to do this the next time. Oh, that's what it's going to do.
Right.
Because like I said, you're going to learn more in 30 minutes on the track than you will on the street because you have that runoff room to like, oh yeah, I'm going to, I can do this.
So
I
you
can
mean,
better
but you mean
myself.
by like, I guess having the cones out there instead
Yeah,
of
and
like
having
the
the
raised-
cones and the lines and
Okay,
everything
right, right.
else. So just having that extra room and making sure that you're placing photographers in certain spots because the photographers come out and I make sure to like go talk to the guy running the car because we call that the grid guy. Shout out to the grid guy, Aaron. But just we make sure, hey, go talk with him. We have zones out there for y'all. Make sure and like we know Adam's gonna go get crazy with some cool stuff, so we allow people like Adam to go, hey. But then we know the guys that are new that have their small little camera that are learning. That's like, hey, bro, you're gonna be right here.
Right.
There's plenty of good shots you can get right here. Plenty. Start, get comfortable. Let us know you. Let us get comfortable with who you are, and then
That's
once we do
that's
it,
what I always tell people that first time getting on the track, taking photos or anything to support the event is like watch the drivers, get a feel how they drive, and then make your decisions.
Oh, wow.
For placement to get your photos. Because there's more than a handful of drivers I've seen over the years where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be like 3 feet, maybe less in front of you when you're sliding to
Right.
get that photo.
Nice.
But then there's other drivers where I'm like, I'm gonna stand back maybe about 6-7 feet just in case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they're kind of still learning or
Yeah,
whatever.
so-
Hi, Francesca. Thanks for joining the YouTube chat. My daughter, Mama.
oh
Thank you, Mama.
yeah,
Shout out
like,
to the grid guy.
yeah, like we said, there's photographers like Anthony. He's our new upcoming photographer. He's been helping us out too.
Cool.
And
Awesome videos, by the way, you've been doing for them.
oh yeah, so he's
Right on.
coming out. He's learning and stuff like that. Because that, like I said, this is Adam's business. So when he does his thing and he does his thing, we have our guys that come out and like, hey, can you hook us up, give us some photos, do stuff? Because one of my other guys, Josh, he was out there, and you'd see Adam close, and you would see Josh hanging upside down from the tree or something. Like, Josh, what are you doing, dude? Like, Josh, what are you? And he's like, hey, I got this, guys. I got this.
Got a good shot here.
Yeah, and he would get his shots, and he would do what he'd have to do. And I was like, Josh, and Adam's over there being careful, and Josh is just, oh, yeah, you almost hit me, bro. And I'm like, well, I didn't even know you.
Martin Puentes on Facebook. Thanks for joining.
So,
He says, that's my dog, Jake Flo.
that's the Southern Goat.
A shaka.
Barbecue.
Nice. Oh, that's the
Appreciate
barbecue
you.
dude?
Yeah.
Right on.
Coming out feeding everybody. He sells out almost all the time.
Put your business on there, Martin. Tag your business on there so people can check it out.
Every time I come out and say, hey, can you make us? Man, I already ran out of brisket. Well, yeah. I'm gonna need you to put some aside, dog. Like, triple cheese, man. Hook me up.
What's y'all's favorite car-related movie or video game?
Video game
Go
for
ahead,
me would have to be Tokyo Extreme Racer. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that.
that's
That's
old
like
school.
old school, like
Wow.
PS2.
TS. We just bought that.
Yeah, I got Tokyo Extreme Racer 1 and 2 for Dreamcast. So, yeah.
Nice.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Dreamcast. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, the old school Sega. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
think
I got a PS5 though.
Sorry, bro.
But you know, we still play the old games.
I'm not broke. Y'all see the new Dreamcast update?
Everyone's
Still
like,
uploading.
this fool's still on Dreamcast.
I'm waiting on the CD to come in for the update.
Oh man, I don't know. If I have to say that the Initial D arcade game, that's
That's,
that's a very fun one.
That's a dope one. I kicked his ass.
Wow.
At Quasars.
Yeah, Quasar.
Quasars.
I was actually over there a few months ago with a couple of buddies, and we spent maybe almost 6 hours just playing that game straight. And then this dude, we're gonna call him the Ghost of Akina, because he shows up out of nowhere
It was
and
me.
he spanks us, and then he leaves. Doesn't say a word, just spanks us, and we're just like,
Mic drop.
wow,
Damn.
we're like, wow,
See y'all
okay.
later.
But other than that movie, the original Fast and the Furious, I think that's classic. It's perfect. This guy.
And
Yeah.
no, Corpus doesn't look like that when they do this.
No.
Everybody's, that's
Not like that.
It's not like that. Mine, I'm really not a gamer because, like I said, I suck at it. But the one game that I've always owned is Forza, and that's just what I've done. And that's on Xbox, and that's only because I not bought an Xbox for that game. So yeah, that was my game, and now I do Assetto Corsa, which is on the simulator.
Yeah.
But my favorite movie, man, is American Graffiti.
Oh,
Have
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that one?
nah, it sounds familiar.
So that's the slogan of the movie was "Where were you in '62?" and that's an old hot rod movie.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a bunch of college kids getting ready to go off to college and stuff like
Wow.
that, and a big race. I grew up as a hot rod guy, so
Nice.
that movie right there is my heart right there, because that's the one thing I always did with my parents and my dad. You know, he always the '55 Chevy at the very
I
end
was
of
gonna
the movie.
say,
on
do
the
y'all have
drag
like
race.
do y'all have favorite like muscle cars?
Yes, so I have a dream car, and it's from that movie. It's a 32
What?
Ford Coupe, and I will get one day. I will sell both my drift cars for that car.
God
I've
dang.
gotten everybody to question me, would you sell them? Hell yeah, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat for that car.
Quote that for later.
And we went to Universal, and at Universal they have the Mel's Diner, and that's where all the hot rods are sitting at. And I got to show my boy, like, dude, this is Dad's dream car, and he was all over it. And I made sure to implant that, because if that dude ever wins a lottery, I'm getting that car.
He actually,
So
he actually
there will
liked
be
it?
so he
sign.
knows it, yeah. So
Oh,
he
wow.
knows it, and he was, telling my wife, take a picture of me and my dad's dream car, this and this, and like we sat by those cars for an hour, and my wife was like, "Can we go?" I'm like, "Can I cherish this childhood moment, please?"
Yeah.
Like, I know we're here for our child, but this is me. Like, I sent a million photos to my parents because that movie was
Yeah.
the best.
Southern Goat Barbecue by Martin Flores. Check it out, y'all.
Hell
On
yeah.
Facebook, he says he got y'all for the next event for sure. Best movie, Andrew Von England on YouTube says best movie, Super Fast, best game, Need for Speed 2015, and Car X Drift.
Need for Speed
Yeah, Gran
2015 was
Turismo. I
good.
remember
Gran
that one.
Turismo, yeah.
Gran Turismo.
And now they just made a movie off of that too.
What?
Yeah.
I had,
That
no
was
idea
actually a good
I had no
movie.
idea that was a real thing that actually happened.
Yeah, no, it was
I
based off.
I watched it. I was like, no
And then
way.
you see
that's
the real
so
car
cool.
accident too, and it was like,
Yeah.
ooh, snap,
what?
that really happened.
There's history behind that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh
So,
yeah.
What it came out on Netflix? Did you see that movie? You haven't seen that movie
No.
yet? So, like I was telling you, the simulator thing,
Yeah.
like that's a real thing. Like that is legit, and they now did that. So he's playing the game, and they have a simulator for that style game too.
Wow.
And he got up, and now he was
Yeah.
a pro driver.
Who? So that's the guy that's in part of
So
the history.
it's not the
story?
guy who made it the game. So there's a game owner, but that guy, they call it Gran Turismo the movie because it was a Gran Turismo competition.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, they
And-
hosted
yeah, it
it
was
every
a
year.
like the actual
Yeah.
gamers
Oh,
entered
okay.
a contest for a chance to
Yeah.
get a contract
A shot
to
at
drive
professional
to
driving.
become a
Oh,
professional
yeah.
driver.
Yeah, it goes off like your lap time for
Mhm.
a certain track. If you can, get the best lap time, you move on to
Yeah.
And it's a real
eventually
thing, man.
become a professional
A
driver.
professional driver on it. So they do it on the simulator.
Yeah.
And then eventually, wow.
Yeah, so
took
that's
on the
how
track.
they did like a time thing, and all the fastest kids got to like go in, like they recorded their time on whatever, and yeah, so that's how we got it. And it was
Wow.
Mhm.
And I tell people all the time, like I was never a believer of the simulator, but now it's expensive at the start, but it's cheap at the end because now you can just drive and. Man,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than driving in my underwears with my shoes off, and I'm just driving by myself and doing what I got to do. And everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm drifting." So it's like, yeah. And it's like I'm over there, and all my best friends too. We're all older dudes. So I'm like, dude, there's nothing better than doing that. Like,
All right, so when you go to Justin's house, don't sit.
Disinfectant.
yeah,
The
yeah, and
lights
it's
all
amazing because you're doing it in the AC. You're not
Yeah.
sweating. You're there.
You're
and
not wasting
learning.
fuel. You're not wasting
yeah.
tires.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
For real.
You're actually wasting electricity. and
Electric-
that is expensive. Yeah.
Right on. Thanks a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
you guys in the chat. Giovanni Hernandez, Eric Garcia, Miguel Perez. The real driver for GT was the stunt driver for the
For the
movie.
movie.
Oh, that's good.
Then
Wow.
Miggy with the facts.
I know, right?
Put those facts in your car, Miggy, please.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Thanks for coming on the show, you guys. Is there anything else y'all want to share?
Oh man.
No.
Hopefully we
Gotta
come
home
see y'all
and-
come say
Yeah.
hi at the next event.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
out
Hit
to
up
the
the
event.
yeah. Well,
Come
so
find
the,
us
yeah, sorry, December 21st.
21st. Yes,
All
sir.
right, and 12th year celebrating your 12th anniversary or something
Yeah,
like that.
12th anniversary. Yep. Finished our good season. Follow us on Instagram at Drift Corpus, Facebook at Drift Corpus. We don't have a Twitter yet. We don't do that.
Do you got a YouTube channel?
No, I don't have a YouTube channel.
But
yet.
but
Nothing
if
yet.
you search Drift Corpus on YouTube, you'll find videos.
You'll find
yeah.
some old videos
You'll
too.
find some
Yeah.
videos. That's where I found that drone footage of you guys on
Ignore the
there.
Harlem Shake video, please.
No,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
video.
Harlem Shake.
I'm gonna specifically go check that one out.
It was up
It's
the time.
there. It's there. There's a guy in his underwear, so fair. So I'm gonna tell you now. Yeah.
Got you on the ride along next event. Thanks a lot, you guys. So do we check out your stuff? How do we find you guys? Do you want to plug your information?
You can find me on Facebook under Adam Delgadillo Photography. You can see all the automotive stuff I do along with all the other type of work I do. Mainly active on that platform. You can see, the features I do and stuff like that for the magazines and the local auto community scene as well.
Damn. Which magazines are you getting? Are you still on them, or it's just?
No, I still do. I actively shoot for Stance Auto magazine. They're based out in the UK. So we do pretty much anything everywhere. And then also PASMAG, Performance Auto Sound magazine. They're based out in Ontario.
Sweet.
So try to do what I can and give any local person in the automotive community the opportunity to showcase their hard work and their builds, whether it be drift builds, car show builds, drag builds, classics, anything, you name it.
And he'll
Adam will
feature
make
it
you
all.
famous.
So-
And he will feature it all because he told me, "Hey, I'm gonna do this car," and I'm like, "You sure though?" Let me show you.
So is it like he can make a bad car look good with his photos?
100%. He made mine look good.
Word. Cool. And you want to plug your garage, or you want to plug anything?
Yeah, I mean, you could follow us on like Instagram. We're hero_garage. We post some stuff that we're working on in the drift events and a lot of the other guys that drive out there and stuff. Any events that we do. Yeah.
Word. Well, if nothing else, you guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
I got put in a word to Ovago to get you guys on, that we can be on his podcast,
That'd be
reach his
Thank you, man.
audience.
Appreciate that.
Everybody else, stay tuned. Next episode, next week, I'm going to have Ana Ramirez, comedian, Ronnie Martinez from the CC Horror Club, and also another comedian out here for next week. So stay tuned for that, you guys. And then week after that, Almighty Public Zoo. They're going to be talking about the rap scene in Corpus, the hip hop scene, and all that stuff. So thanks a lot, you guys, for watching. Stay tuned. CorpusChristiOriginals.com. Get the merch. Help support the podcast. Thanks a lot, you guys. Shout out to the producer Maya back there, my brother Maya. Here, produce Sound Studios, downtown Corpus Christi, Texas. Appreciate you guys. Bye.
Hell yeah.